welcome back to my channel. So as you probably gathered from the thumbnail, this video is going to be a little different. It's going to be about a hair topper. So I did a video not too long ago about a lace front wig and how to put it on, and the reason I was compelled to do that was because when I used to do hair and makeup, particularly for brides, I ran into a lot of clients that actually had hair loss issues from hormonal issues, alopecia, which means like you get like full-on bald spots around your head. And the biggest thing that was so hard to deal with was that even if they had extensions, the extensions have to clip into a part of your scalp that has a base. So if you don't have that, then it's really hard to actually conceal or hide any hair loss issues that you have. And then what would happen is you'd see women with thinning hair up here, but then really full volume below or underneath, and it just didn't work well. So I tried on a wig and I just wanted to see if that was something that could counter some of those issues and tackle them. And then I found this, which is also from Uniwigs. It is the brand that I worked with last time on the actual wig itself. And I have to say the quality of the hair is amazing. I'll link the exact one I got, but this is a topper. So basically what that means is it's like extensions, but it's looks like this. So it's going to go directly on the top of your head. The reason I wanted to do this one was because my mom, for instance, who's in her 70s, she has shorter hair altogether, but she definitely suffers hair loss and thinning hair right around here. And it's just something that she's really self-conscious about, and other people that I've talked to that have expressed the same sort of concerns. And I was like, you know what, this might be a really good resolution to that. One quick tip for me, personally, when I'm picking hair extensions or anything related to my hair, you always want to make sure that it's something that is not fully synthetic. You want to make sure that you have human hair, so that way you can actually style it with a hot tool. I say that because sometimes people think they can spend less money and then they take their curling iron to it and it singes, and then you're just like left with fried, smelly, burny hair. So just be careful with that. Number two is when I'm talking about hair color, I tend to always do like a dark brown. Even if I have highlights in my hair, which I have right now, I like the idea of going with my natural color because the highlights in my hair right now will just mesh in really nicely and almost look like I have lowlights. And if your hair is darker at the time and you have a little bit lighter extensions, then it'll look like highlights. So I don't mind it not being perfectly matched, although this is a pretty spot on match. This is probably just a tad darker than my current hair, but again, once it's mixed in, I feel like you really get that dimension that you would get with colored hair. So this is my first time trying this out, so I'm gonna test it out with you guys. But again, this is what it looks like right here. You can see it kind of has like a natural wave to it. This right here, this lace front, would imply that I'm gonna put it up closer here. I'm not going to do that. I wanna actually start it sort of right here because I want it to look more natural, and I don't want it to be up here like a wig, unless that was something that you needed to do because of hair loss. I'm going to just take some baby scissors like this, and I'm gonna trim this part. See this little netting? I'm gonna trim that. And we're not gonna have to worry, if you're doing it the way I'm doing it, you're not gonna have to worry about, you know, setting this onto your forehead and making sure it stays, because we're gonna be kind of mixing this into your natural hair. And I'm kind of doing this with the idea of someone who has thinning hair right at the crown area and kind of wants to combat that or conceal any hair loss they have there. So basically this is what I'm left with. See that? I just kind of trimmed that right there. I'm gonna take a little bit of hair and leave it in the front. Okay. And then I'm gonna take this guy right here. You can see everything's unclipped. And I'm just going to put it, I'm gonna line it up pretty much. Do you see that? I'm lining that part up with my natural part right here, and I'm just gonna clip it in. Okay, it's very simple, simply done. And the only thing I will say is you wanna make it, you want it to grab on nicely. So I'm actually gonna pull it because I want it to lay really flat right here. So I'm gonna pull it tight on the sides right here. So I'm just gonna unclip this part that I did. If you saw right there, the clip is right there. I'm going to pull it even harder. I'm gonna pull it more taut and just, there we go. There, that feels nice and tight. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on the bottom. I believe there's 4 in total. You can see it just added a ton of volume. So now what I wanna do is make this part look a little bit more believable. Just basically taking the fronts, which are my natural hair, and letting it kind of go in. And if the parting changes, because you can see this is where the topper is and this is where my part is, then I'm just going to move this and reclip it. There we go. I'm just gonna take a tool, whichever tool you want. I'm taking my Paul Mitchell Express Ion Turnstile, and I'll link everything that I'm using below as well. I just want to show you how easily it kind of meshes in. Now this is a little different than obviously extensions that go under your natural hair, because this is going on top. But even then, you can see as soon as I curl it with my natural hair, it still looks like I have more like low lights going on. So the color, as long as it's close enough, you don't really have to worry about it not matching. One thing I will say though is the feel of this hair is so beautiful. It feels really great. Now if you were going to use this as like a lace front wig, then obviously you'd put it up here and you could glue it in or glue it down just to make sure that it stays put. But for me, I love the idea of being able to kind of freely clip in, clip out just for the evening. Honestly, this is, I feel like, such a great way of getting volume and concealing any hair loss issues that you might have. The last thing you might want to do to just make sure everything looks very even and put together is just lightly color in the part of the actual topper to make sure it matches everything that you have going on. I'm actually just going to take a little bit of this brow styler. So it's a dark brown brow styler, and you can see it kind of just looks like that. Do you see that? It kind of just comes off like a little bit of an eyebrow color, but it's very thin. It doesn't do too much. It doesn't deposit too much color. I'm just gonna take this and just at the tip, I'm going to just color that in, just so that way there's no real separation between my hairline and the parting of the topper. But that is about it. And if you guys are trying to cover that even more, you can even do a hairstyle where it's like this, more to one side, and it'll conceal that parting altogether. Actually, I kind of like this side better. Do you see how much instant volume I just got? Wow, it's actually very comfortable too. All right, so now I want to do a little side by side. Also, taking this out is super simple. All you're going to do is find the points on the topper that have the little clips, and you might just have to feel for them. But once you find them all, you can just slowly remove it. Honestly, so simple to use. All right, so anyways, I will list and link this little guy that I got down below, as well as a promo code for 15% off, and also the other tools I used today, which is pretty much this little ion styler. So if you have any questions or comments, leave them below, and I'll see you next time. Bye.